Well, Janet, I think we had a very successful year this year, 2012. We did a lot of planning from 3 years ago.
Yes.
We started, and we were able to do at least one, sometimes two events every month throughout the year, except for February. And I think what we possibly did was to bring the town a little bit closer together, and we reached out to all of the businesses, all the residents of the town. We even had kids coming in with 300 pennies to help donate to support all of the activities that we had that were for free. And I think a lot of the people in the town looked at it as they wanted to continue these events next year and do a lot of these events. We were very lucky to get our first grant last fiscal year, which was $10,000, and that helped upgrade our website and also helped pay for a lot of the different printing and educational things that went out to all the people throughout the state. And then Therese Murray put in a grant in the Senate for the town for $50,000, and we were able to get that, and that really helped out a lot. That took care of our fireworks and a lot of our parade activities and a lot of the big activities that we had.
And it's also one for you, Jackie. I know that you tirelessly made it to all of these meetings. And there's also a picture, there's a picture of the 300 committee members here. And if you notice, you're right in there. So, and also there's a certificate here, and you can bring that over to the desk on your way out, and you can pick up a book.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome.
Hi, I'm Deborah Wall. I'm one of the members of the 300th Book Committee. There were 6 of us that worked for a year and a half to produce this wonderful history of Pembroke. There's a lot of history in it. We go from the Native American times to current day industries. Famous people and places are all included. It's no book that you've ever seen before in the history of Pembroke. It's not a little booklet. It's a wonderful full color tome.
Well, I'm Rick Madden, and this is the reforestation project for the 300th anniversary of Pembroke. We did a tree arbor day planting of 300 plus trees, and these trees are North Atlantic white cedars. They were part of a intercoastal rainforest that stretches from the panhandle of Florida all the way up to Canada. It has been basically decimated and overlogged since the colonization of this country by the British. These trees were the gold, so to speak, in this part of the world. There was no monetary valuable minerals or treasures here other than the woodlands. And during the process of colonizing, they pretty much stripped out the white cedars. What we're trying to do is to restore them. They're a cypress cedar, which means they grow in water, unlike a lot of other trees that can't handle that type of environment. So this being the Wampanoag Trail, one of the most ancient trails in America, it was the first discovered area of these trees. So they were overlogged, anywhere from a mast of a boat to a shingle to a bean pole. They had a use, so even the new growth that sprouted up was cropped right off. Our goal is to replenish them, to restore this to a really nice cold water, trout bearing type of cold water environment.
The air show takes a lot of planning ahead, and unfortunately I planned 2 years ahead for the air show, and the people that I talked to get all the proper permits and things retired in the meantime between when I talked to them and when we actually had the air show, and when Mass Aeronautics and the FAA learned that we were having an air show in Pembroke. They didn't particularly know too much about it. So there was a lot of different aspects of the air show and the flyby on the parade and things like that that we were unable to get because it wasn't done in a timely manner, and those things need to be done way far ahead. So so anybody that I know, the owner of the property down there, Richard Carrara, was great in opening his land for us, and he's also said that if the committee wanted to have another air show there next year, that he would be receptive to that and open his land again. But that takes a lot of contact. You have to know the pilots. The pilots all donated their planes and their time, and you really have to cross your fingers and hope for the weather, because they're not going to show up in $150,000 aircraft and fly in the rain. That's not going to happen.
So more on the Stearman is that it was actually, the name Stearman comes from Stearman Corporations that built this airplane. However, Boeing bought the design and called it the Model 75 in I think the early 40s. However, the name Stearman just stuck with it really.
Really was thankful for the committee and all of the things that they did throughout the year, because there was a lot of people on the sidelines, and that really worked a lot. And if anybody worked a lot, I know you did, because doing both the secretarial work and the treasurer's work and collecting the money and doing all of the memorabilia and selling all the memorabilia, you were about as busy as I was all year. Almost.
Not quite as much. Not quite.
But really appreciate that, because I know that you really did a lot of work. And so, are you going to be able to do that next year?
Oh, probably just as much as you will.
So,
we could give good input, I think.
So now comes all the paperwork and putting everything together that's going to go in the time capsule, and making a determination exactly where the time capsule is going to go. Because we've had 2 or 3 different options that I think that we probably have to discuss as a committee to where we're going to put it, and hopefully nobody digs it up and takes it, because it's worth a lot of money. So the McLeod family was very generous in giving the time capsule.
Husband, this cabin is drafty.
Well, do something about it, wife. I've got business to attend to with the Indians. These skins don't trade themselves, you know.
Do what? You take me to this forsaken colony and expect me to remain content in this horrid cabin, which is as drafty as London Bridge, not to mention this dirt floor.
Well, I don't know what you could do, wife. Wait a minute, maybe I do. I recently met a man at Marshfield who does this sort of thing.
What sort of thing?
Oh, what did he call it? It was, insulation.
Insul what?
Insulation. He claims it's the wave of the future, and tells of a time when there won't be a structure built in the colony without it.
What is it, dear husband?
Well, what he does is he takes a mixture of mud, moss, and twigs and crams it between the rafters of the building, thus eliminating drafts. He says that the worst offenders are near windows and doors.
Huzzah! What an ingenious solution! I wonder how he ever came up with this idea.
I wish I knew, wife. I wish I had thought of it, for then I would not be burdened with the Indians and the skins, and I wouldn't be besought with your complaining.
Well, who is this man, and how soon can he be here?
His name was Isaiah McCarthy. He lives right near Robert Barker's place by the herring run. We can stop by on our way back from church services in Duxbury on Sunday.
And why do we have to go all the way to Duxbury for church services?
It's always something, isn't it, wife? Are you burdened by a cottage besought with drafts? Mr. Isaiah McCarthy can help alleviate the source of your woes with his remarkable mud and moss mixture. Developed by Indians and perfected by Puritans, this is the product that will make your home more pleasant and comfortable all year long. Mr. McCarthy is readily available and conveniently located near the herring run, less than half a day's journey from Marshfield or Duxbury, receiving interested parties all days, even the Sabbath. McCarthy's mud and moss mixture, combing your drafts in your dwelling since 1698.
Initially, it was supposed to be the world's largest water balloon fight, but then we found out that it was 10,000 people. And that was going to be too many people, so we went with Pembroke's largest water balloon fight. And it went off beautifully. We had kids from kindergarten on up through high school and even some adults. And we had On Your Mark, Get Set, Go, and hundreds of balloons were tossed back and forth down in the lower field behind the community center. And I had several kids come up to me afterwards saying, hey, can we do that again next year? So I think that's probably one of the events that we should definitely be doing next year. Well, there's a core group of us that are starting to form a nonprofit status, a 501(c)(3), and we would love to see the fireworks continue. That was one of the most, I think for me that was one of the best events after the water balloon fight. But it was great seeing all of Pembroke come out on a beautiful night, and there was music and just watching these wonderful fireworks. And they weren't as expensive as I think a lot of people were thinking they were going to be. Digger Dorsey brought in under budget. It was one of the best nights.
I really like the idea about the water wheel at the Heron Run. I think the people are really going to enjoy that. There's just something about a water wheel that people really like. And Mark Amarella, who owns Ocean Works, donated that whole thing. I actually went to him for a bill, and he said, nope, no bill. I think the 300th committee really went way and up and above and beyond any of the committees that have done any celebrations in Pembroke.
Hello, everyone! Put your hands up, or you dead.
And this was our first police night out, you know, for the town. And I think that event's going to happen every year, because the police are going to get together with the sheriff and all the local departments around, you know, around this area, and they'll probably put that event on again every year. That's something I think that they're going to do on their own.
Just to make the public aware of what they're there for and what they do for you.
We're a little crazy here.
So each to last door. You like the doors, huh?
What do you think?
The main thing that our dogs do when they work for us is searching our dogs to control a person, which is with a muzzle.
It's a great hobby. We camp, spend the night, we laugh during the night, sing songs, a lot of the old traditional songs, and trying to teach the public a little bit of our history that's not actually in the history books or could be miscued. So that's what we try to do, is just put the bugs in people's heads, you know, like really look at the history, because history does repeat itself, and that's something we don't want, we would like to prevent.
And it's such a big bullet, this did a lot of damage. If it hit any bone in your body, it would shatter that bone. And even today, it did so much damage to the bones, even today they would have to amputate your arm or leg.
Like the rings on this Jag were lubricating the bullet and kind of the barrel.
The unit that I'm with is Battery C, 1st Rhode Island Light Artillery, which is an actual unit, was an actual unit that was called up in August of 1861 and deployed to the Washington, Virginia area and participated in most of the major battles in Virginia throughout the war until the Battle of Cedar Creek.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Now we have your attention.
Comrades, ready. At elevation, aim. Fire. Recover arm. Shoulder arm. Low.
Thank you. Okay, now we can go to our next project, you guys.
All right.
I'm a small point of land that projects, so no. I was designed by Robert Coit and built in the 1900s, no. The proprietors built me in 1798. My family reside there today. Many families reside there today. Find them for 6. Native Americans and residents used to gather here. I'm between the ponds and rivers in a restricted area. I was built in 1850 off Kings Highway. This has got to be Kings Highway. Right. I mean,
The thing to remember is, even when we're not having our 300th anniversary, this is a great town to live in, and we're very lucky to call this place home. As I've said in my columns, Pembroke is tercent terrific. Thanks again for all of your support throughout this 300th anniversary.